I'm only giving you what I prophetically hear. I'm seeing this whole course, I'm seeing God doing it right now, where it's the source of energy is very important for people who are listening all over the world. And I had 2 clues, which I'm going to give you one today, which I haven't spoken of yet. You ready, Mr. Codebreaker?
Oh, here it is.
Because I'm the code maker.
Over the last few years, there have been several prophecies, not only about the cryptocurrency industry, but specifically about XRP. For example, this channel right here, Last Days, with 438,000 subscribers, has not only prophesized about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, plagues that are coming right now and in the future, but specifically what is about to happen for Ripple's XRP. And I want to play a couple of those with you guys in this video. Also, what I want to talk about is what's happening on the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart compared to the past, what's happening on the XRP to the US dollar price chart. The reason why I'm still holding my XRP because of some major events that have yet to take place in 2025, and what my expectations are for the total crypto market the rest of this year. So if you guys are feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, comment 777 and let's run it.
I'm only giving you what I prophetically hear. And then the other one is the tree, the oak tree, which is a symbol which people have been researching, not yet revealed. But people are researching out there because it's a puzzle. God won't give us everything because it's not the right time. But something starting with an X and it has a P in it that's going to be worth investing in. And I can't say the whole thing because I don't know it. But I had a dream and I saw an X. And I think there may have been a number and something else, and then P. So it's a prophetic thing, this. It's the time for the release of this new source of energy.
The Lord showed me an American flag, and the American flag was transformed into a $100 bill. And the $100 bill was waving in the wind, and all of a sudden it started to transform into some kind of digital code, almost like crypto code. And the crypto, it was moving and it was alive, and it was all kind of like an internet math code, and it was moving and moving and moving. And I said, Lord, what is this? And the Lord said, the dollar's about to turn into a digital dollar.
When we talk about the price of XRP, we have to look at the debt. And central banks have an incentive to dissolve that debt right now. And they found a solution, which is blockchain. They actually are going to, in my opinion, based on the research, and also I can confirm this, that the International Monetary Fund has already agreed on a price before all this integration started to happen. So this was a few years ago. They agreed upon a price, and I got a lot of information from Linda P. Jones has a friend who worked at the Central Bank of Australia, and she said that they agreed upon a price, and it's in the thousands. Now, when we again talk about the XRP price, we have to look at the global debt, the incentive for central banks to dissolve global debt, in fact, also to utilize this source of liquidity from XRP to facilitate, transparency. Moving into the digital economy, this is what they're going to be using. XRP is a financial instrument to serve the global economy.
He said there's going to be a new wave of patriotism coming out, and that's whenever I saw Trump, and I saw a red wave coming out of Michigan, and then I saw Oklahoma, and there was embers of people, and they were all on they had torches all throughout Oklahoma, and they were raising up these torches that looked like fire, and they were bringing forth a new patriotism upon the nation, and it was being birthed, and it just kept spreading like fire all throughout America, all throughout. And I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding when I saw him winning the presidency through great. The Lord showed me it would go clear into the summer. Great persecution would come on him through the judges and through the law and all these people trying to sue him and all this stuff. But there would be a stop to it, and things would start to break free come toward the fall. And then I saw him winning the election, through the Patriots coming out and voting, and then there will be a great economy crash. Yeah. I saw they had a great economy plan, a crash. Worse than the Great Depression. And the Lord warned me about this. It would be a great dark time. But I saw paddles coming upon America's soil like a shocking of the soil. And I saw Donald Trump praying in the office of the Oval Office. And he was weeping before the Lord with his hands on his head like this, but he was weeping. And there was ministers and people. I don't know if they were senators or Congress people or whatever. I just saw them pacing and back and forth inside of the White House. And sorry, what is the White House? But it's the Oval Office. Yeah. And they were interceding all inside there, and I could feel the presence of the Lord so strong on this. And then I could see that darkness that was the heaviness upon America with the financial crisis of what I saw coming. It started to lift above the trees, and I saw the blue and the things coming back out, and the green times and the good times coming back again. But the Lord said it would be forth a time of a season of a shaking, and it would be a shaking to awaken. And in this, this would basically that He was not done with America. There would be a great revival come, and it's not all doom and gloom. That's what He said. The sky's not falling. There's a time of, it's like people would say, this is judgment. And the Lord said, do not call this judgment. It's not my judgment. It's a correction. There's correction coming.
And the Lord said, the dollar's about to turn into a digital dollar. And He said, it will be worth half than what it's worth right now. So a $100 bill would be worth $50. And so, He showed me the banks all went bankrupt. All the money that was in the banks, every person that had money in there, no matter if you were really rich or if you were poor, whatever was in the banks, they seized it all. The money was now property of the bank somehow. I don't know how they did it, but all the loans that you have on your house and on your cars and everything, I saw that all of it, they would call it a debt jubilee. And because they couldn't foreclose and take everybody's houses and everybody's cars because of the dollar crashing, they just wiped it out, and they created a new platform. They created a new digital dollar with this. And then the Lord showed me lines for people standing at Target stores for trying to get food, but they weren't dressed like in poverty looking clothes. They still had nice clothes on. It's like it happened so suddenly. It was like an overnight deal. And people were in lines at the Target, at Walmart for like a mile long because there was no products and there was no food. There was hardly anything in these stores. And people were waiting just to get whatever they could get. And so I could see them all in a single file line, and it stretched for forever. And He showed me certain cryptocurrencies that would go up in value. He showed me certain things that would happen with gold and with silver. And He showed me that for this year, He talked to me about the euro. And He told me the euro would be in trouble because of what was going on with Europe and this war. In my prayer time, the Lord has been talking to me about the camels are coming. And he's talking to me about the wealth transfer. And He said, Brandon, it's going to come on suddenly and quickly. So I want to encourage you all, if you are listening to the voice of the Lord, if you're a tither, you're a giver, and you've been believing for a supernatural harvest for finances, I'm telling you, the rain is coming. I keep hearing that too when I'm praying. I hear the sound in the spirit realm of an abundance of rain. There is an abundance, not just a little trickle. I'm talking about a toad strangling rain is coming for a transfer of wealth for the wicked is going to be laid up for the righteous. And I'm telling you all, it was so strong last night when I was praying. The Lord had me interceding for this wealth transfer. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm telling you all this. You need to seek the Lord for yourself. But I'm telling you, it's going to come through certain cryptos. And it's going to come, that's what I hear. And maybe it'll be through something for you for something else, okay? But I'm telling you, I keep seeing XRP, and like I said, I'm not telling you to invest in it. That's on you. Do not say, hey, you told me to invest in it. No, I'm telling you, there's going to be something in my spirit, in my opinion, with XRP in the near future. And I keep seeing it go overnight. It's like right now, I think it was like 47 cents per XRP. And all of a sudden, I am hearing in my spirit there's going to be an acceleration of things. There's acceleration coming, and I'm telling you, it's speeding up. Something is about to happen in the natural. Now, it could be a year from now, it could be 2 years from now. I don't know, but because when you're looking in the spirit again, the time frame when you're trying to decipher in the natural, in your flesh, what you're seeing, it feels like it's right there, like it's today. But, in the spirit realm, a day is 1,000 years to the Lord. So you have to just know this is something that is brewing. It's happening, and we're praying over it. It's something I'm praying over. But I hear the sound of an abundance of rain. Do you hear what I'm talking? What I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? I hear the sound of an abundance of rain. And God is about to pour out something huge for the body of Christ. And I believe it will. The manifestation of the finances will come before the manifestation of the glory to help fund it. It will help bring in the land or the TV time or whatever ministry you're supporting, whatever the Lord tells you to do with it to help out with those ministries. This is going to happen before it, and I believe we're going to see it sooner than later. Like I said, I don't know when, I don't know the amount. All I know is that there's something. I feel it. There's a river when you pray over it.
So let me know your guys' thoughts on all that. I have watched countless prophetic videos from people having dreams about XRP. Even myself, when I prayed back in 2020 for an answer about where I should be dedicating the majority of my time, putting the majority of my money, God told me XRP. Now, it's very interesting because the whole lawsuit then came after that, and we had to go through years together here of dealing with the SEC's onslaught, specifically not just on the crypto industry, but on Ripple as a company. And so that caused XRP's price to be suppressed for years on end, virtually doing nothing after 2020. Sure, it went up to $2 during that bull run, but then dropped down to 29 cents and stayed between 20 cents and 90 cents for roughly, if I were to measure from the bear market bottom until the breakout, about 888 days roughly, give or take a day or two probably. So I'm going to dive into this video on the XRP to the US dollar price chart. But first, what we need to get into before we look at the RSI, the MACD, and the stochastic RSI is the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart and talk about what happened last bull run. Because when we transition from orange to yellow in the Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator, just like we saw happen just recently, right when Bitcoin started to break out, that was roughly around, November to December of 2020. And if we look at the relative strength index on this breakout right here to 44K for Bitcoin, we saw the RSI go to 88 on the daily, and it never reached that high again that entire bull run. And we saw a bearish divergence. And so we were seeing lower highs get put on the relative strength index, even while the price chart was putting in higher high, higher high, higher high, and then the highest high during the yellow phase before that correction, and then the final high right up here, whereas the RSI bounced only to 78 after that point. So what we're looking at right now on the left-hand side of the screen is the RSI breached upwards of 84 on the daily chart. Now, could this be the start of a bearish divergence that we will see over the next few months as Bitcoin struggles to put in higher highs on the relative strength index, but puts in higher highs on the price chart as we gear up towards the next few months of February, March, and April, similar to what happened the last bull run during this phase of the market cycle right here from January until April of 2021. And what would that mean for something like XRP? Because the whole entire altcoin market follows Bitcoin's lead with liquidity. If Bitcoin sees an injection of liquidity, then altcoins tend to follow because the sentiment about the whole industry rises or falls based on Bitcoin's growth or decline. So with Bitcoin still underneath $100,000, in my opinion, in order for the altcoin market to perform very, very well, we would need to see Bitcoin breach above $108,000. Now, prophecies aside here about people predicting XRP to go to $5,000, $10,000. Some people even saying, there's a Forbes article saying XRP is going to go to $50,000. Now that's completely ridiculous, outrageous price predictions, almost like prophetic price predictions. Now, could that happen by the year 2100, 2200 over the next 100 years? You know, anything's possible, but we need to combine the technical with the fundamental and then sprinkle in a little bit of spiritual here for those of you that believe in God and the Spirit of Christ. Because my life over the past few years have been nothing short of a movie because of what Christ has done for me ever since I almost died in a biking accident years ago. Now, I'll get into that story in another video. I like to talk about the facts in this video, and some of the facts that tell us we're about to head into a massive altcoin rally is the Bitcoin dominance chart and what we're seeing happen right now with this breakdown that I covered yesterday. Now, if we just look at the chart alone and stack on the Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator and what happened each cycle during the yellow phase where Bitcoin's dominance peaked out, and then we saw a drop in dominance on the price chart during this yellow phase before we transition to light green. Well, look at where we're at right now. We just transitioned from orange to yellow, and if it plays out like the past and Bitcoin's dominance starts to break down, well, let's pair this up with the Bitcoin price chart and let's see what happened each time the past few cycles on the weekly chart when Bitcoin's dominance broke down. What did that look like for the altcoin market? And then also, what did that look like for XRP? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark on the chart when Bitcoin's dominance really started to break down, not necessarily when it peaked out, because as you guys can see here, it hovered between 60 to 65% from like the 25th of January until the 15th of March. So for a while it went sideways. I want to track when it really started to break down lower than 60% and fall off of a shelf. And so when it fell off of a shelf, this was at the tail end of March of 2021. And if we go back to the cycle before then, right after the 27th of February of 2017. So if we zoom out here and then if we just mark both of those points with vertical red dotted lines here on the bottom of the screen, you guys can see the last bull run. Bitcoin was at that first peak and then it saw that massive correction back down to $28,000. So it was upwards of $60,000 when Bitcoin's dominance dropped. Bitcoin's price dropped, whereas the cycle before then, Bitcoin was at like $1,400, dropped down to about $900+, and then exploded all the way to 19 to 20K after that. So now if we pair that up with XRP at the bottom of the screen, when Bitcoin's dominance dropped, that's when XRP exploded from 50 cents upwards of $2 last bull run cycle. The cycle before then, XRP was at 0.006. It exploded upwards of 38 cents. So both bull run cycles, when Bitcoin's dominance fell off of a shelf, Bitcoin in the last bull run was at a high and corrected, whereas XRP saw a rally shortly after that. And if I were to just zoom in here on the XRP price chart at the bottom of the screen, you guys can see XRP was at like 53, 54 cents right here. And we just saw back-to-back weekly green candles upwards of, $1.80, $1.90. So Bitcoin was all the way upwards of $60,000. And sure, it peaked out at about $65,000 with XRP. While the dominance started to drop from 60% down to 50%, XRP drastically outperformed Bitcoin during that 3-week time frame. So overnight, this happened suddenly, and we see these massive green candles flood in, as you guys just recently saw with XRP, with these green candles, from the 4th of November until the 2nd of December, all the way down here from 50 cents upwards of $2.90. So with XRP consolidating right now, in between about $2 to $3, we see this descending resistance right here. XRP's critical resistance zone to break through is roughly around $2.60 to $2.65, this zone right here. And simultaneously, if we look at the relative strength index, it's attempting to break out above 59 right here. We can see the MACD. The momentum has shifted on the histogram from bearish and it's starting to rotate back around. If we see a bullish cross take place where the MACD line crosses above the signal line, and simultaneously, the stochastic RSI formed a bullish cross below 0, and it confirmed the bullish cross with the D line now at 36 and the K line at 70. This is a good sign of a potential trend reversal on the short term coming for XRP. Remember, when I say short term versus long term, short term is from the 2nd of December right here to where we are right now. We're in a downtrend because we see lower highs and relatively equal lows with these wicks right here. But we are in a macro uptrend because we just continuously form higher highs and higher lows. As long as we hold this support down at $2, we still need to break this key resistance zone right here for XRP. And until we break that and hold it as support, then XRP will just continue to range within support and resistance. And so a lot of the prophecy videos about XRP that we've seen out there, they might be months or even years into the future because the spirit realm has no beginning, has no end. It doesn't understand time the same way that we do. So let's say you get a vision, it might be 5 years out. You just don't know. So this is why we turn to the charts and the technicals. So if we don't see XRP clear the resistance above $2.60 plus cents, and we see it reverse to the downside alongside Bitcoin struggling to make a breakout and continuously consolidating between support, which is roughly 91K right around here, and resistance is all the way up at $108,000. If Bitcoin doesn't see a massive liquidity injection coming soon to put in a higher high, then XRP would most likely just roll around back to the downside in the short term. Now, my personal thought process on this, which again, I could be wrong about, but I think XRP is just going to continuously march higher leading in to January 20th because Trump is getting inaugurated into office. Gary Gensler is officially going to be leaving the SEC. Also, right here, according to the XRP guy, do not sell your XRP until all the below happens. Now, I'm not telling you guys what to do, what to buy or sell, but RLUSD is going to be released on the majority, if not all, of exchanges. It's already out right now. They just need to add it to more exchanges. Trump is going to be inaugurated. Gary's going to leave office around the same time frame. Ripple's lawsuit is going to end. That news alone is so bullish that it's going to push the price up. Alt season is going to start when Bitcoin's dominance drops. That I'll show you guys here in a little bit on the total 3 chart. We also have Ripple big name banking partnerships getting released, a lot of which on NDAs. I showed you guys in a video about Brad Garlinghouse saying they have massive partnerships with banks, some of which they have not announced publicly yet. So if he's saying that, then he is confirming they have other partnerships. We just don't know with who, but they're big banks, guys. XRP's ETF approval coming. Also, look at this. According to Polymarket, they said there's a 70% chance of an XRP Ripple getting an ETF approval this year. So all of that news right there is super, super bullish. So for XRP to break below $2, there would have to be some massive economic collapse, some war news taking place because the indicators are looking way too bullish. We saw a bearish cross all the way back here. The MACD is resetting right now. So at some point, there's going to be a bullish cross take place where the MACD line crosses above the signal line. Now, whether it happens before January 20th or after it, it's going to happen at some point. We've already confirmed a bullish cross on the stochastic RSI, and the relative strength index is attempting a breakout right now above the RSI-based moving average in yellow. Now, if it takes a little bit longer for XRP to break out and we see the RSI trend back down and the price just chop within this range for a little bit longer, I would just expect the breakout for XRP to come a little bit later. So anything within this range is just going to be really volatile. So definitely have your proper stop losses set in case we do get rejected from $2.60, this zone of resistance right here, from the 7th of December to the 9th of December and also the 17th of December through the 18th of December. This is the zone that we need to clear. So I would expect XRP to hover at this resistance before breaking through. And I just think we're going to put in higher lows moving forward as we coil up into the end of January going into Trump's inauguration, Gary Gensler stepping down. And the reason why is because if we look at the total 3, the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, we can see some powerful things happening on the chart right now. If we zoom out here on the weekly and we compare back to the last bull run, and I were to just draw a horizontal dotted line from the all-time high, you guys saw what happened when we got to the all-time high for total 3 back here around February of 2021. We saw the market cap of the whole industry get upwards of 470 billion, then crash back down below it to about 300 billion, and then just consolidated at it for a few weeks before rallying all the way up to $1 trillion right here. So what we're doing right now is something similar. We rallied up to it and then we just crashed back down below it. We got up to about 1.1 trillion, crashed down to 800. And so I would expect there to be a massive liquidity injection to start pushing the altcoin market up within the next 1 to 2 months, closer to $2 trillion until we see a much bigger correction transitioning from yellow to green in the market. And then for the parabolic blow off top, whether it's a higher high, an equal high, or a lower high in the light green phase before we go into the economic meltdown that the prophecies are foretelling. Now, looking at the relative strength index right here, we can also see some similarities on the weekly RSI. During this orange phase, all the way back here in August of 2020, when the markets was rallying out of the COVID low, we saw the RSI push all the way up here to 78 into overbought territory. We saw this consolidation phase take place. Now on the right-hand side of the screen, when we transitioned from purple to orange, we rallied from the bear market lows all the way up here. We also saw the RSI breach upwards of 80 plus to 90. And then we saw this longer consolidation take place. We saw the RSI reset down here to 40, just like the RSI reset back here, but it reset to 64. And then we saw this massive liquidity injection for yellow. We saw this massive liquidity injection for the yellow phase in the market cycle. The RSI peaked all the way up here to about 83, even going all the way up here to about 94 when we went back to the high. The RSI comes all the way up here to 80, peaks at this stage, and we saw a little pullback take place back to the RSI-based moving average. So in my opinion, where we are right now on the relative strength index is very similar to where we were either right here at this stage in the market cycle or right here around December of 2020 at this stage before we see the next liquidity injection to push the RSI back up. Now, the real question is, if I clear the chart right here, on the right-hand side of the bottom of the screen, if we form a lower high on the relative strength index, similar to what we saw happen back here from February all the way to the top and then the bear market bottom, where we saw a RSI of 95, where the market cap was at 430 billion. We saw higher highs on the price chart all the way up to the 17th of May, but then a lower high on the RSI of 83 right here. The real question is on the next bounce for the market, if we put in a higher high leading us into 1.3, 1.5 to $2 trillion for the next leg up, if the RSI puts in a lower high at like 78 or 80 before trending back to the downside in the next major correction in the market. This is what I would expect to happen, to do something like this, and then for the blow off top to be ultimately a lower high in the RSI, then for us to go into the bear market bottom, something like this to take place. So virtually nobody knows how high the peak of the market will be, but indicators are telling us, even if I were to zoom out on the monthly chart and just clear the drawings from the weekly right here, we have not really breached above 80 on the monthly. Look at the last cycle. We were upwards of 90 on the relative strength index all the way up here when the market cap of the whole industry was at 500 billion, and we still had higher to go. We went to 900 billion. Inevitably at light green, we were at over $1 trillion, where the RSI was putting in lower highs. Look at the RSI right now. We are gearing up for a massive parabolic blow off top, and then I would expect there to be lower highs coming in as we go into the bear market bottom somewhere over the next few months. So the liquidity injection that's going to come into this bull run cycle, again, I could be wrong here, guys. I'm just looking at the charts here in the relative strength index. We're currently 69 right now. We barely got above 70 on the high of November, and we barely got above 70 on the 1st of March. We haven't seen this parabolic blow off top. So when I sell is when we are upwards of 80 to 90 on a monthly relative strength index, also pulling up the moving average convergence divergence right here on the monthly. Look at this. We haven't even seen a bearish cross yet. The bearish cross that took place right here in the past was on the 1st to the 2nd to the 1st of April during that month right there, when we were on the complacency stage bounce in light blue in the later stage of that bull run. We're right here with the MACD sitting at 117 billion. The signal line is at 71 billion. So the MACD line is in positive momentum. It's above the signal line right here until we see that starting to turn around and the first warning signs of an intersection between the MACD and the signal line for a bearish cross. Then we might want to be concerned for the bear market coming in, just like what happened back here on the 1st of March during the complacency stage high before we fell off a shelf for FTX collapse, Terra Luna, Celsius, Voyager, Three Arrows Capital, all of that nonsense taking place. Until then, we still have to go to light green. And look at what happened to light green back in 1st of January of 2018. That was a blow off top. Light green was the all-time high. So we're still in yellow right now. So there's nothing to really be worried about right now other than potential war news, maybe shaking out the market a little bit further before we continue. But all signs are telling me personally on the key indicators that we have higher to go leading into Inauguration Day, even over the next few months until the next major correction happens. That's why we're going to be here every single day helping you guys make as much money as humanly possible. For example, our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree. If that's a goal of yours, our goal is to help 1,000 members set their portfolio up for life this month. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.